Gonna be getting started in just a second here, everyone. Making sure I'm live on all the things. Hey everyone, how's it going?
Doing pretty good.
Is everyone here, if I were to run through a mirror darkly, are you guys, flagged for it? Okay, well if it can be red box, then maybe we'll do that. Because, it's the only one I think. Well, let me double check, but I think that's the only. I'm up to that one. I'm gonna use a guide to get around on it.
Always.
Yeah, usually I try not to, and then I end up getting lost, and there's like one or two things I just can't find, and then I try to retrace my steps, and it takes an hour, etc., etc. So I'm just going to use a DDO wiki guide on this one. Hello, and welcome to the weekly Wednesday Lunchtime live stream here on twitch.tv/DDO stream, youtube.com/Dungeons and Dragons/live, and facebook.com/DDO Unlimited. I am DDO's Community Manager Cordovan, and I am on Thalanis today. It looks like I need to crunch my stuff down again. Darn it. I should always do this. So normally I do that when I log out. Before I log out every night, I'll go to the Caneth crafting station and just kind of quick decon everything. But if I'm up too late, as I might have been last time I was here, I'm like, oh, I'll do it later. And then I just don't do it. Imagine that. So thanks everyone for joining me. If you have any questions for me, I'll do my best to answer them. If I can answer them, I will. If I can't, I'll just tell you that. Oh, actually, Con 10, Charisma 10, mid-level 26. Screw it. Get rid of that. So, how's everyone doing today? I've been talking with Tolero on the most recent bonus calendar. I'm not sure what was decided. It's actually being put together as we speak, so I can't tell you what this week's bonus is going to be. I think it's going to be a combination of double daily dice and guild renown. That was the last I heard, but don't take that as solid truth, because I could be wrong about that. We also have heard your plea to get back the stuff in the Remnants vendor. And so that'll be coming, if not, I think next week. So not this weekend, but next weekend. Either way, that schedule's going to be hammered out for sure within the next, say, 24 hours, being as it's Wednesday and it goes live on Thursday morning. Within probably the next 12 hours, and then we'll get the word out about that. So, how's it going? Will there be a Ravenloft pre-order special, such as what was done in the past? Most likely. But that's an unsettled question at the moment, because we haven't really gotten that far in the process. It's going to be a while before we're really ready to talk about, that kind of thing, so. But I would imagine the basic idea is it'll be similar to what's been done in the past, so. Do I know when the next pirate party is? Crystal Cove is set to come back, I believe, within the next quarter, but I'm not sure when. Titan says, am I aware of wondrous craftsmanship items are glitched? In what way glitched? My understanding is we fixed an issue where they were improperly not having a min level. But if there's something else going on, let me know. Fire the Dragon Leader. It would be nice if the free sale item code was posted in the launcher. Well, so its main purpose, in terms of a benefit to Standing Stone Games, may be to get people to open a thing. Whether that be the DDO store, or the Chronicle, or up until recently the sales page. So, yes, I can understand from a convenience perspective why you might say that. But that sort of is the trade-off of getting a free thing. I know it's so... It's a business thing. Yeah, that's it. No min level. So my understanding is they shouldn't be doing that anymore. If they are, then maybe it's just not in yet? I'm not sure. I need to double check. Alright, through a mirror darkly map and guide. Yep, that one's updated. Trying to find a good walkthrough on this because I'm terrible. If someone's got a great walkthrough of the Through a Mirror Darkly, let me know. Let's see, DDO Through a Mirror Darkly walkthrough. It shows up. I see videos and I see the wiki. Well, guess we'll have to just kind of use the map. Hello everyone over on Facebook, nice to see you as well. Hello everyone over on YouTube, nice to see you. Angela, Snow White Fox, Steelmaster, Jim, Nick. Faces is saying, I don't like it being consolidated in the Chronicle. Bring it back to the sales page. So the main thing is that sales page, because it was providing that level of detail, it involved several hours worth of work on the part of one of our e-commerce folks. And they frankly are running into a wall where they need to cut back on some things. And so it was determined to move that stuff to the Chronicle instead. That said, we might be, I'm interested in hearing that feedback. I have heard the feedback, and I think we're going to work on getting it to a place that you like it better. But I don't think the sales page is going to be able to come back. Frankly, when we run the numbers on it, the work to benefit ratio was very low. Most people just open up the DDO store in the game, scroll to whatever's on sale, and then make their decisions there. So all the kind of advertising we do on store sales, frankly, only reaches like 5% of the people who use the store anyway. Most people don't actually pay attention to that stuff. But for those folks who do, we have the Chronicle, it's on the game launcher, it's on social media, that sort of thing. So you'll just kind of have to find a new way to get that stuff. Just go to Twitter or Facebook or open up the game launcher or what have you, and you'll get all that information there. Why not turn the sales page into less details? That's exactly what's happening. I mean, I could take the little bit of text I put for the Chronicle and just copy it into that page every week. But what's the point? I appreciate that people got used to using the sales page, but like I said, not really that many people actually used it. And most people just, like I say, open up the DDO store or look at the launcher. So it's in the launcher every single week. Any info on the next update? It's going to be Dwarves versus Drow in the Underdark, and it's coming, yeah, sometime July-ish. June-ish, July-ish. Shoemaker, I was asked whether or not there is a raid planned for Ravenloft. Anything you can say yet? We can't really get into content, but, you know, probably. Pen and paper has changed DDO. Do you think DDO has changed pen and paper? Yeah. Definitely to some extent it has. If for no other reason, then there have been times where we've provided feedback directly to Wizards and they provide feedback to us on 5th edition and other things. So, I think so. Yeah, you would think it wouldn't take that much time to update the sales page, but like I said, they just came to me and they were like, we can't do it anymore. So, what do you want to do? I was like, well, let's put it in the Chronicle. Any word on the Favored Soul Cleric Pass? This comes from Facebook. I can tell you that work is underway on that right now. It's going in front of the Players' Council, if not already, then very, very soon. And hopefully you should start seeing some of that within the next, couple of months. Alright, where is everyone? Is everyone inside the quest? Who needs to get inside the quest yet? Alright, Titan, well, just recall out and get back to life and get in here if you can. I mean, the reason the Chronicle was chosen was simply because was already putting the sales stuff in there every single week as it was. So, you know. Does WotC have input on the direction of DDO or vice versa? Yeah, to some extent they do. I mean, it's, they are a licensor, right? So it's a typical licensor relationship, where they provide feedback and to some extent need to sign off on things. And then when they, yeah, and then vice versa sometimes too. Not like we sign off on things, but sometimes we'll provide them with feedback. And it's always been the way that works. Are we going to have the bank update next? No. The bank update has been scrapped for the foreseeable future. I talk about this just about every week. I get asked this, but we aim to provide, you know, the barter UI to it, but the feedback was so negative that we pulled it. But we cannot update the bank UI without bringing back the barter UI. And since people don't want that, we're kind of stuck in a position where it has to stay where it is right now. Can I show how to remove the post-processing effects to alter the look of Shadowfell? So yes, you go to Options. I believe, what, it's Advanced Graphics. Post-processing video post-effects. You'll uncheck that. Hit Close. And I'll actually leave it that way. For everyone's benefit, we really do need to do something about that. Titan, you could just spend a couple of shards if you want, and just teleport right to it. Oh god, I have to lead this thing. Okay, let me try this. Bottom floor, normal. Alright. I know, theoretically this quest should be pretty easy, but in practice I just constantly run into issues with it.
A barrier of magical shadows blocks this doorway.
Oh. Another thing, put this in your hotbar for this quest, makes it a lot easier. Oh, just a second. Yeah, okay, Thimble, if you want to sort of guide the group, that sounds great. I'll take your word for it. Yeah, I always get horrifically lost in here as well. I'm just bad. I wonder if it'll work on the Glacier quest? Yes, it absolutely does. Basically what's happening in that lighting effect...
I had exactly 3 shards.
Cool. It's just a lot easier than recalling out and getting you over here.
An aura of magic emanates from the light. You should gather any more you find.
Bum, 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 bum. So basically what's happening with that lighting effect is just far too many independent light sources are going off at once. Somehow it's, for some reason, even though we have checked it in the past, it seems to be doubling up on effects. So rather than, say, providing the Shadowfell effect on you, it's putting the Shadowfell effect of everybody on every time. So it's like kind of an exponential thing. The more people in your party, the brighter it is. And it just ain't right. So we need to do something about it, but we just haven't gotten around to it. The people who did that work are no longer with the company, and we just haven't really gone back to do it. Update 36 notes when? It's going to be a while, because we're not really that close to bringing it to Lamania yet. So you'll see it on Lamania first, like per usual. You're doing great, Thimble. Keep up the good work. Any insight on turn undead, or can I comment on turn... Oh, no, no. Can I comment on turn undead yet? A second. Excuse me. No, I can't comment. It's not yet ready for public consumption. Sorry. Damn it. Okay, I need to get some potions or a healer. Yeah. It would be nice to finally take care of that what goes up issue. You know, I'm probably going to cap out here at the end of this quest. Should be pretty nice.
Too proud to accept defeat by one such as you.
Can we get the toggle back in for the store so we can view account purchased items again? Because it's a pain having to scroll through the
Good.
side. I appreciate what you're saying. Right now we just lack the tech to be able to do that. Going to ETR or gonna TR fully? So not on this character. This character is gonna stay at cap for a little while. But Sekihan, who is my favored soul rogue, is going to epic reincarnate and then true reincarnate. I want to have one person at cap pretty much at all times that's flagged for raids and that, so on guild nights and such I can run with the guild and do all the flagging we want to do. So I want to make sure I've got someone basically ready to go on every server if I can that I'm doing stuff with. So this guy's going to stay where he is for a while, but like I said, the assassin rogue I think is going to either... So I'm kind of split. Because I want to wait for the cleric favored soul pass to totally do the TR and be another cleric life, because, you know, hey, it'd be... I want to take advantage of that stuff, right?
I found you.
So, I might just do a quick assassin life on the character before the cleric favored soul pass if I think I can get it done quick enough. Otherwise, I'm just going to hang off on TRing until the cleric favored soul pass. I haven't decided yet. Yeah, why don't we do the optional beholder? That sounds good.
A cluster of glowing eyes darts in the darkness, betraying a shadow beholder's hiding spot. The shadow beholder belches
And there's my cap.
dissipates
Nice.
back into the darkness.
Woot woot. Ah, shadow sight. Coolio. I know, I can't wait for the Cleric Favored Soul update too. I mean, you know I've been a long time Cleric Favored Soul person. And while I work for the company, so I'm totally biased, it's gonna rock. It's going to rock. from what I've seen so far. Or heard from the devs, mostly. It's gonna be so cool. The main goals, I guess I could say, are to really fix the long-standing issue of turn undead not really being a thing. So, that's gonna be good. And then otherwise, just kind of in general, improving them. You know, giving them a little bit more fighters skills and things like that. Oh, where'd it go? So we're going to the other side? Yep. Ah. Oh, I'm helpless. Okay.
Oh yeah,
no.
you must be on.
Any plan to eventually put more music on the website? Yes. It's just a matter of carving out the time for it. I have a bunch of files, although there is some kind of minor copyright stuff I need to sort through because of the transition to Standing Stone Games. I mean, we have the copyright, but there's a difference between that and posting it for broadcast, right? So I got to sort through that real quick, but there should be no real issues with that. And then just get it done. But I've just been too busy to really get to it. So hopefully we can get that done soonish. Hopefully the pass will not break any working favored soul builds. I mean, certainly that would be the goal, right? We don't want to make things worse, we want to make them better. My personal opinion
Jerry, I have a question.
is that it's going to not, and it'll be good. Yeah, what's up?
I heard that, what was it, Severlin said that, he would give us a third veteran status for Ravenloft.
He did say that, didn't he? How about uploading one song a
level
week?
10.
Well, I could do that. Actually, that's not a terrible idea in terms of marketing. Really, that's not the issue, though. It's really just a matter of, like I said, sorting through the broadcast rights, making sure that we're okay there, and then doing the work to get it uploaded. Would you want to use wisdom to damage on a favored soul? Aren't favored souls supposed to heal and nuke? High wisdom works fine now. There could be a case, I think, for using wisdom to damage on a favored soul. Particularly if you are a DC casting favored soul, like say you're doing Necrospec or something like that, and where you want high DCs, then I would think that there would be an advantage to potentially using wisdom to damage there. Because it would be one less stat in general you would have to worry about for your melee skills. But, you know, it's an option. One of the things I like about playing my favorite soul is I feel like I have a lot of different things I can do. Necro casting is pointless and Epic's legendary IMO. You're wrong. Sorry, you're just plain wrong. That ain't true. Maybe in legendary. But, otherwise, no. Are you killing things regularly? If the answer is yes, it is not useless. On both my Necro characters, I am killing things regularly. And if I can do it, then you guys can do it. Because I am most clearly not the most powerful nor crunchy player in the world. Are all DDO codes posted into the in-game store now? Yes. Through the redeem code functionality. It's not DDO stream if I don't die at least once. Yeah. You're right.
Hey Jerry, I have something interesting.
Yes.
Place them on their pedestal.
I found a
Access to the Nexus.
epic elemental great axe of fire from House Canis in the Shard Exchange.
Okay. Sounds like someone exploiting. Sorry, I'm a little behind on checks. I've been paying attention to the quest a little more. I don't know, King Cosmo. I myself have not been having any issues clicking on things, so I'm not quite sure what's up. But then I tend to do a lot of like auto-targeting enabled. Might be worth toggling that with GG just to see if that makes a difference for you. When are we getting bundle packs back? Hopefully, yeah, I just don't know. It's
You got to on this one.
going to be a pretty lengthy update process for the store. It's something that we want to do, but we just have had other priorities. Like getting the store to work, the external browser issue, things like that. But hopefully at some point here. What is special about Zorian Cipher Altar? Oh, someone asking about Easter eggs. That's a good question. I'm not sure what the deal is with the Zorian Cipher Altar. That's a new one to me. I'm not sure what Easter egg might be there.
You take a quick glimpse into your mirror.
Alright, so now we use the book, or the thing. The Mirror of Shadows.
These light pedestals are dormant, but still radiate a subtle magical aura. No doubt they are receptacles for some kind of orb.
And Thimble, you are doing fantastic here. You just led us through that no problem. When is the DDO store coming back into its normal form? Hopefully pretty soon. The engineer who's doing the work on it is getting there. Just about done. A little bit of work to do, and then it's got to go through a QA process. It's taken a little longer than expected. No big surprise there, though. Yay! Man, this is the smoothest Through a Mirror Darkly run I might have ever been on.
Well played. The Shade applauds. You've certainly done a better job of damaging my operation than this fool of a capper.
You know what's kind of funny about that DDO store thing is, you're right that for many people they don't like it. But there's also a section of people who are just like, man, can you just leave it like that? Who really, because it's kind of nice. I mean, like, me personally, I like having the external store browser. So I can just be playing the game, open up the store, and I can still be playing while it just sort of loads on the side. It doesn't distract from the screen or anything.
And shadow at once. I can easily deal with you and continue to maintain the Shadowfell Nexus at the same time.
When is the next time the vendor will sell crowns and armor? I should be very soon. I think next week? I know that Tolero was working on the quarterly calendar yesterday and will polish it up today. My understanding is I think it's going to be next week or next couple of weeks. But very soon, the Remnant vendor will have the cloaks and crowns and bracers and such back. Yeah, like I say, you're not alone. There are some folks who really like the external store browser. I happen to be one of them, but, you know. But nonetheless, you know, there are enough people who want the internal browser, and there's some good reasons to use an internal browser that will most likely just do that. Yeah, I appreciate Taryn has a suggestion about choosing augments at the collectors. You know, the fact that it's random is kind of a pain. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can hear you there. DDO Wiki is great for explaining true reincarnation to epic reincarnation costs, benefits, etc. I tend to agree. Even though I've done it a million times now, I still tend to call up that page just as a checklist. Alright, everyone good?
And the Shadowfell.
Man, that's awesome. I am now capped. Just in time. Cossador, can I please get an answer? Why don't you add search bar in the TR cache? It's annoying for people at TR a lot. I appreciate that. I've kind of answered that question a lot, but I can answer it again. The TR cache was never designed, nor is meant to, nor will ever be meant to be, long-term storage. I appreciate and recognize that people do consider it that and use it as that. And that's fine, but that's not something we're ever going to officially support. Morningstar. That'll be useful in this. I like the Morningstar.
What's next?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Anyone got any thoughts on it? How about,
We could go
hey,
do that
I
one
know.
quick quest.
Let's do Don't Drink the Water. That's nice and easy, and we can do that one on Epic Elite. Renwa, you know how I think. Yeah.
Uh-oh. What are we getting into, Jerry?
Well, I didn't say Reaper 10.
Yeah.
Is there a problem with treasure bags dropping from mobs? I was in the Temple of Baal and can't get any. Sometimes there may be a specific quest issue where the mobs are dropping bags even though they're not really set to do so. And so what happens is you try to click on it, but since it doesn't formally exist, you don't get any reward for it. That tends to be a quest-specific issue, so we'd have to look into that one. In terms of the search bar for the TR cache, though, yeah, I mean, I can recognize why people would want that, but it's just probably not something we're going to support. I think if we were to do work, what it would be is to remove the TR cache so that you could true reincarnate or whatever and not have to deal with the TR cache at all. They'll just stay in your inventory. And I can just hear people going, no! Count your blessings? Yeah, search and rescue collectible nodes still don't work. Is there going to be a fix for that? There should be, yes. It would be cool if we could choose different skins for the game. Any chance of that? What do you mean skins? We do have... They're a little old now, but we do have some UI skins available that are player created. Might want to look into those if you're interested. In terms of character model skins, the main thing we would run into is an animation issue, I think, but perhaps. Thrycreen is a player race? Maybe. That'd be cool. Can't really see us doing that anytime soon, but who knows. Yeah, Hipporan, I'm not sure. He's basically saying the Bard icon was theoretically fixed in the Warlock tree several times, but didn't show up in the live game. Any idea why? No, I don't know why. But yes, it was theoretically fixed several times already. It just doesn't seem to... I don't know. Something ain't right with it. Are there any plans for a collectible trade-in as in a 5-to-1 or 3-to-1 ratio? It's not something that really has been set aside. I mean, we definitely have heard that suggestion before. It's not a terrible idea at all. But no, I don't know of any immediate plans to really work on that system right now. I think our short-term priorities are really going to be focusing on Update 36, the Cleric Favored Soul work, Artificer work. I know that we want to get to Druids, although I don't know when that's going to happen. And, some other things that I can't really talk about yet, along with Ravenloft. So I think we have a pretty booked calendar for the foreseeable future here. So I'm not entirely sure when we might be able to carve out time to do some of that other stuff that you would like done. We'll have to see. Ray Dana, is it normal for the grouping panel to not display who is the group leader? Sometimes it doesn't show.
We should
The
get a
answer is
dragon as a playable
yes,
race.
but it's something we also need to work on. So what's happening there is it used to be that all that character data loaded upon initial login. Yeah, let's do the optional.
You barely make out a small tunnel under the water.
Is Artifaster in 35?
It would. That's a good question. I'm not sure if it's going to make it into 36 or a point update afterwards. I think that it really just depends on how implementation goes over the next couple of weeks.
Someone took pains.
But it could. It might.
Inside the chest, you find a strange vial marked remedy. You take it with you in
Yay.
case it's important.
Is Wisdom to Damage going to be in Update 36 or in Ravenloft? Probably Ravenloft. My bearings here.
Hey, Jerry.
Yes.
What is Ravenloft about, anyway?
Well, that's actually a pretty lengthy question. I would do a Google search, but it's really a classic module focusing on sort of the classic vampires and things like that. A particular vampire who's a very famous enemy in the world of Dungeons and Dragons named Strahd. It's a little bit of a Transylvania-like setting. And it dates back to, like I said, first edition, where at one point it was considered to be one of the best, if not the best, first edition module. There was some kind of internet poll that determined that. Can't remember what it was, but very popular module back from first edition. In second, it became a campaign setting, and it's just remained a popular setting in the world of Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, and yes, and Ravenloft has Lord Soth, and some other cool things, Baba Yaga and things. The first edition version in particular, I think, was known for also having an unusual enemy that would sort of harass the campaign in a way that hadn't really been done at that point beforehand. So in the original campaign, or the original first edition module, there's a kind of a lot of randomized sort of elements to it, where you're in, Castle Ravenloft, and periodically Strahd would show up, attack you, fight you, and then run away, and do things like that. And that was, like I said, pretty unique for the time. Certainly. There's also was kind of like a randomized card system, I believe. Kind of a deck of fate sort of mechanic. But I don't want to spoil things too much for those who don't know.
Jerry, I'm seeing something interesting on my screen, like a whole line of fire damage on my, like, going across my screen.
Oh, huh? Yeah, I don't know. Can you have a pet rock? Yeah, I do need to. I need to take care of that. I really do. I will give out pet rocks in the near future.
Another barrier can be seen up ahead. The Yuan-Ti have gone to great pains to keep intruders out.
I wanna be Yuan-Ti. I don't even know who that is, Renwa. Is that someone with the youngsters nowadays? Sean Plot? Don't know that one. So yes, sorry, I think I got distracted and didn't answer the question about the loading on the LFM panel. So initially, that loaded on character login, and that caused a long-standing and pretty heavily player-painful bug that was called the double login bug. And what would happen is you'd log into the game, it would just sort of hang there, you'd get disconnected from the game world, and then you'd reconnect, and then you'd be fine. And what was happening is there was just too much character data that was being loaded upon login, and depending on a variety of factors, it would basically just not load correctly. But the stuff would be cached, so that when you'd log in subsequently, since some of it was already cached, it would then load just fine for you. And so what we had to do is we had to dramatically decrease the load-in footprint. And one of the clear causes of that was having to load the Who panel every time you initially log into the game, whether you used it or not. So the decision was made to have that load-in done when you load the Who panel for the first time, rather than on initial character login, which is fine unless you go to the LFM panel before loading the Who panel, in which case you would run into a situation, like you say, where a bunch of stuff doesn't display for you. So I think the long-term solution is to either have some kind of button on the LFM panel to just sort of load that data, or to perhaps have, when you initially load the social panel, to have a default to Who, and then just sort of sit there and load up and then populate. So that would take care of it. The other thing is just kind of a player workaround where you just sort of tab over to Who, let that load, and then go over to the LFM panel. So it's not technically a bug, but it's certainly not, great behavior either. And it's something that we do need and intend to work on at some point here. People are talking about the stat penalty on half-orcs. I don't know that I completely agree with what's being said there. I think half-orcs don't have the worst stat penalty. I would say Jarrao have the worst stat penalty in the game. But it really comes down to what you want to do with it.
Huh, that's odd. I'm not gaining any more key.
Well, maybe you're not centered.
I am centered.
Why do half-orcs have a dragon mark based on the stat they have a penalty on? That is a very good question. I don't know.
I have the Kensai one with the blade.
Nice. Ray over on Facebook finished the 3 drow for the racial reincarnation. I actually kind of like drow, but, you know, just I've always sort of been into drow, but I recognize that they kind of sort of... I mean, they technically have the same stat distribution of everybody except for what Dragonborn now. But some of it is pre-allocated, so if it's a stat that doesn't really make sense for you, then it can be seen as a penalty. Because they get 2 less build points, essentially. Assignable build points is probably the best way to describe it. I actually think, so... There are some good reasons to pick Drow, in my opinion, for Warlock. Although there are some other good options there, too. So there are some good things that you can do with a Drow. Mockduck has always been a Drow, and that's why he's a Drow.
That must be the source of the Yuan-Ti's poison. The great beast looks at you.
I've been trying to make a half-orc caster using both intelligence or charisma, and even with tomes, I guess I just have to adjust their rolls.
There's no need to rush. You know I'm always told not to play with my food. Let's make an exception.
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
Testing my patience, small one. I will melt the flesh from your bones.
Would love a half-orc deity, Orcus or whatever, huh? That's cool. Oops. Dang it, wrong button. Facebook is about 6 to 8 seconds ahead of Twitch. Yeah, that'll happen. Sometimes YouTube and Twitch get totally off as well. Don't ask me what... Well, I guess... just has to do with however it goes through the inner tubes. So Facebook, you guys are seeing it first. Yeah, I agree, Wizenman. So Wizenman is saying if there's one change we should do to Drow, it would be to... Nice. Flawless green. It would be to have the spell resistance work better at endgame. And the reason it typically doesn't...
On doing Friday
I mean,
there,
it can, but...
Gary.
Sorry, what was that?
What you plan on doing Friday since you capped this tune?
I'm not sure. I actually may not be around on Friday. I haven't decided yet. Kind of depends on how my schedule goes in the next couple of days. I need a day off. I've been working up to and including 3 weekends for about 3 weeks now, so I kind of need a day off.
Yeah, kinda.
I realized that yesterday when I posted a Lotro GIF on DDO's Twitter. I was like, oh crap. Alright. You've hit that wall. Maybe it's time to give yourself a day off, huh? Yeah.
Any word on Players Council?
Yeah, actually. I have started bringing people into the Players Council as of Monday, and then again yesterday, and I'm going to do a third pass today. I'm sort of going through the several hundred applications and then just kind of doing it in waves. So the council should be pretty well seated by the end of the week, I'd think. And then once everyone kind of, accepts things and it all formally gets done, I'm going to post a list of it. Destroy loot? You don't want to destroy loot. No.
Sounds good, then.
Yeah. Will there ever be a legendary tier 31 to 40 in DDO? In terms of character level, I don't know. In terms of quest level, perhaps. Says the man playing a video game. Yeah, you're right. So, back to Drow spell resistance. The main thing about Drow spell resistance is since it doesn't stack with the kind of spell resistance you get from itemization, a lot of times it's seen as less valuable towards endgame. But if you don't want to itemize it, Drow spell resistance can actually still be, just one less thing a Drow needs to worry about so much upon level up. But I hear you, and ultimately it puts Drow on the same page as everyone else rather than sort of being exceptional, which would make sense because Drow historically, they should have exceptional spell resistance. So I think long term it would make sense to have Drow get that kind of extra special boost for spell resistance. Let me check. Yeah, you don't want to destroy loot. Destroy loot. What the heck's wrong with you, shoemaker? Don't destroy loot. It's like slapping a baby or something, isn't it? Oh, gosh. So will the Druid Pass be before or after the Artificer Pass? It'll be after. And the reason I say that is the Druid Pass, or the Artificer Pass, is actually being currently worked on by Steel Star now, although it's not going to get a third tree yet. So, I would reiterate, and this has been the case for a couple of years now, but rather than complete class passes, we're doing more stop and start, I guess you could say, passes. So even when the Artificer work is done for 36 or a point update afterwards, that doesn't mean the Artificer class pass is, quote, done. I have to sort through some of that stuff, see what I want to keep and get rid of. Yeah, the Druid Pass, I think, is a little more difficult than the Artificer Pass, mostly because the Druid really does need a rework on some kind of from the ground up in some ways, that I think, the Artificer really needs more tweaks. Luca, just a reiteration, Update 36 is going to feature the Underdark and have Drow versus Dwarves. That's funny. All right. Thank you very much for watching the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream here on twitch.tv/DDO stream, youtube.com/Dungeons and Dragons/live, and facebook.com/DDO Unlimited. The madness is archived so that it can be used against me in a future court of law. You can find that on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook as well. I might be back Friday. I might have a day off. We'll kind of have to see what goes on. But at the very least, I'll be back next Wednesday at noon for another edition of the live stream here. Thank you very much for watching, and look forward to seeing you again. Have fun.